Here we are at Shake the Nations and Shake the Nation Summit, and we're learning so much, and I just felt that we needed to share this with everybody out here on Alliance Youth Ministries, and I have Pastor uh, Lara here, Alex Lara from Pierce Ministries, and he just shared something that really spoke to my heart about youth ministry and intercession and being there for our youth. So I want him to share this with us and just speak to us from the heart a little bit of what he spoke to us. I'm probably going to do 5 minutes or so, but I think the essence of the subject of intercession, it just really blew my mind what intercession meant. I mean, he gave this definition: intercession is you being the voice of your people. Wow, that's awesome. Alex, if you take the camera here and just speak to us for a few minutes.
Awesome. Hello, my name is Pastor Alex Lara, like Brother Aaron just said, and I'm excited to be able to share this with you. God spoke to my heart about the DNA of a youth pastor and what we are structured as a youth pastor, and basic fundamentals and strategies and techniques and theology about a youth pastor to be able to minister and be successful as shepherds, as passionate priests, as youth pastors for our young people. And I want to share with you right now at the moment, one of the characteristics about a youth pastor that's very important is learn how to be a compassionate priest. And under being a compassionate priest, we need to learn to be those that intercede for our young people. If we look at the Word of God, Moses, when the people of Israel created the golden calf, Moses came before the Lord and asked them to turn his fierce anger away from them and love them and not destroy them. He did that one more time when the spies were sent out to look at the promised land, and they came back with a negative report. He asked them, the same way you have loved the people of Israel, Moses said, ever since you brought them out of Egypt, I ask you now to continue to love them the exact same way. And something that God has put in my heart is to be able to learn to be those that intercede for our young people. Many times we spend time with our young people, and yes, we listen to their problems. Sometimes we spend a lot more time in preaching to them and telling them and guiding them and creating programs. But how about the time that we spend to them and they share with us from their heart what they're feeling, what they're going through, and what do we do about what they shared with us? And that is where we come in as intercessors of what their needs are, of what their situation is. The same way that Moses came by and interceded and stood between the grace of God and the law is the same way that us as youth pastors should come before God for our young people. How many times have we listened to our young people speak to us about something, and we come back after speaking to them and drive home, and all we think is, well, they're going through a hard time. Wow, God helped them. But how much time do we really spend in intercession for their lives, for their souls? Many times our young people might make mistakes, might fall, might fail. And we encourage them by telling them, well, you need to ask God for forgiveness, and well, you need to, don't do that again or whatever. But how many times do we intercede that they're completely forgiven? How many times do we intercede to the grace of God that He may have grace upon them, find compassion for them, and just help forgive them and continue to develop them into growing into fulfilling their purpose in their life? That is something very important the Lord has placed in my heart, to become intercessors. Many times, not only do we need to intercede for our young people before God, but how about interceding for our young people before their parents, or before the people of the church, or even before the law? Many times in our churches, our young people are criticized in many ways. They're criticized because they're always failing. They're criticized because of what they wear. They're criticized about what they're going through. And a lot of older people in the congregation might talk about them and criticize them and hurt them. But we are, as youth pastors, are the ones that are interceding in building these relationships and helping our young people move forward and nurturing them and growing. Many times we are the ones that intercede even between the student and their parents. There's difficult times between parents. It's difficult as a parent to understand children that are going through these changes in this modern world right now. But sometimes we need to be the ones that do that bring these relationships together, even between student and the pastor, or students and the law, or students in their relationships in their everyday life. We are the ones that stand in that gap to be able to bring those relationships together and completely fulfill and intercede for our young people. I encourage you right now to be the youth pastor that not only preaches to them, not only gets mad at them, not only, creates these awesome, great programs and fundraisers and everything, but also that you intercede for the lives and the souls of the young people, of the sheep in your flock. The ones that God has put there for you to be the one that you intercede for and you minister to. God bless you. I hope that God spoke to your life at this moment. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you, Pastor. This is something that just really spoke to my heart, and I'm going to ask Pastor Alex to continue sending us a blog on each one of these bullet points that he spoke about. It's called The DNA of a Youth Pastor. Everybody needs to really hear this. It just blew my mind, and it really encouraged me. So remember, you are the voice of your young people. They have nobody else. They only have you. What are you doing with what they're asking, what they're telling you in private and secret? Are you just taking it out there and speaking to your pastor about it? Look, they're having these problems, they're having all these trouble. Or are we actually taking the time to pray for them? So thank you, and soon we will have another blog from Pastor Alex Lara, and I know it will edify you. And we will also post some information so you can get in contact with him if you want to invite them to your church and have them speak to your youth or even your pastors about the DNA of a youth pastor. I believe it'll be a tremendous blessing. Thank you.